In this lecture, I will talk about the working with Kubernetes. In the previous lectures, we got an idea about an architecture of the Kubernetes cluster. So before to start the lab session, I just want to give few more important points about each components of the Kubernetes cluster. Here we have. So very first thing, when a user wants to interact with your Kubernetes cluster, they have to first create a manifest either using YAML or JSON language. Suppose I want to create 5 containers in my Kubernetes cluster. So you have to write a code for that. You can use either YAML or JSON language for the creation of the code, and that written code is known as manifest. Now you have created the manifest. In the manifest, you have defined what exactly you want to perform on your Kubernetes cluster. And then the user has to apply this code, this manifest to the master cluster node to bring it into the desired state. So once you apply it, you have to apply with the API server. I already discussed in the previous lecture that API server is the front end, or we can say it is the gateway through which any request will go to the cluster. So once the request will reach to the API server, all the components, they will start working all together to provide or to bring it to the desired state. Here we have one more important point, that is pod always run on the node which is controlled by the master. So here pod is nothing, it is the smallest unit of the Kubernetes. I will discuss pod in the upcoming lecture. So as of now, just keep in mind that pod is nothing, it is a logical boundary. In that we have the containers. Now the pod always run on the node, or in simple words we can say pod always run on the worker nodes, which is controlled by the master node. So here you can see in the figure as well, we have one master node and few worker nodes. Moving to the next PPT, the roles of the master node. So that's also important. In the Kubernetes cluster, the containers can be run on bare metal, that is on premises, or we can say if you have one physical server that is present on the company's premises and you want to install the Kubernetes on that. So that is also possible. You can install the Kubernetes cluster on VM instances and also on the cloud environment. In Kubernetes clusters, it can have one or more master nodes and also one or more worker nodes. So it depends upon how you design your Kubernetes clusters. The master node runs a set of Kubernetes processes. So once you interact with the API server, what will happen? All the processes which is running on the system, they will start working all together to provide the desired state. So on the master node at the backend, so many processes are running. Few processes for the scheduler, few processes for the API server, few processes are running for the etc database, and few processes are running for the controller manager. And these processes will ensure the smooth functioning of the cluster, and these processes are also called as the control plane. It can be multi-master for high availability. So you can have more than one master node to provide the high availability. So that's all for this lecture.